Namaste, my name is Sanat Kumar. Welcome back to the Manana Podcast. Manana is a Sanskrit word that means reflection or contemplation. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my deep, insightful reflections for you to contemplate and hence live a life of fulfillment. I hope you find great value in today's episode. Life is suffering. Have you ever felt like that? Ultimately, if you leave space for nothingness, you will realize that is all there is. There is nothing in this world other than you, the self. So it's obviously the natural state for every one of us to be in sadness or depression, even if we are trying to search for something other than that. In the world we are in, nobody seems to care about this reality, and that provokes our primitive brain to think about all the other things people seem to value: money, fame, expensive lifestyle, etc. We forget the life that's in every moment. If you feel like life is suffering, that means you just took a moment and separated yourself from your life to see the suffering throughout the process. Here are some of my learnings from when I was in not so good times. This is personal, but I thought it might help many in not so good times. I've acquired them not now or in one day or in a year, but gradually through each of my not so good times. This list has already exceeded, but I will be sharing only the ones which I wrote in the original blog. This blog was written on April 2nd, 2023. Anyway, when you're feeling low, go through these points. 1. Listen to your favorite music. For me, it's the mandolin of the legend U. Srinivas sir, and I use this at my lowest point. Thankfully, it's been a long time since I've been at that point. For me, Carnatic music definitely works. But not only that, I believe Carnatic music has the power to heal anybody. So listen to your favorite music, after which you can try to think, rationalize, understand your situation, and let yourself back to the world at ease. This is a painkiller or a band-aid, you can say, but nevertheless, we need it to begin with when the pain is very intense. 2. God is with you. If you do not believe in God, you can replace it with universe, because ultimately everything is one. So that should be enough to say you are not alone, right? This is not your first low feel. Remember how you overcame your previous low. Remember there was light, and it was God who directed you, who is and will give the light. He, she, it, whatever you want to call it, was there for you back then, and he will be there for you now too. If this is your first low feel, then brace yourselves, there will be more. 3. Observe what you are thinking about. Are you thinking about your work or about the results you expect to miraculously happen? That answers why you are feeling low. 4. Ignorance is equal to pain. Try to see what you are not seeing and from where the pain originates from. This too shall pass is true, but the other half is, what are you going to do about it? Do you learn from what's happening, or will you just feel the pain? Or worse, try to avoid pain by distracting yourself from it through external stimulants. Either way, if you do not learn from it, the universe or whatever you might call it will give you situations where you'll have to go through the same pain again and again till you learn from it. 5. Fight the resistance. Take action. Do something. Take something new. If not your old task, many a times action is way better than inaction. 6. Moreover, your ultimate intent is liberation. And here, when I say liberation, don't think about you dying and then going to heaven or some kind of fancy place. Do you want the ultimate freedom? That is liberation. And that is in no way dependent on your materialistic world. Of course, that is debatable. So I will say it in this way. That liberation, that kind of state, that ultimate state we talked about, is more in your control than the materialistic world. So don't fuss too much about the happenings in this materialistic world. That's what I'm saying. Just practice, meditate, and serve. 7. Not everything applies to you. You need not overthink unnecessarily because there exist planes of reality, or in other words, different levels or planes of truth. The higher you are in this hierarchy, the less you need to bother about the lower levels of truth. See, the truth that matters will be coherent or remain the same at all levels. When you're facing contradictions, this might help. But of course, this applies only if you're moving with awareness towards life. We have already talked about life in caps. If not, you can listen to it in the episode Life Alignment. Not everything applies to you does not apply when you're trying to avoid something out of fear, because fear is born out of ignorance. 8. Consider that you are experiencing low feelings because you're not listening to what the universe is trying to say. As I already told, ignorance is equal to pain. If you're not learning, probably that is why you are experiencing it. Probably the universe is trying to say something. Even if you don't believe all this, that universe is trying to say something, it is just rational, right? Just because we are not able to see something, we are suffering. That's all. I think we have already established that ignorance is pain. So I'll just move on. Just listen and be grateful that soon you'll be enlightened by a bit of truth, a bit of realization. You'll realize a bit of either how your brain works or how life works, or both even. Who knows? Get ready. Welcome the truth with grace. 9. It's none of your business. It is not your business to make suffering for yourself. And this also applies as it is not your business to interfere or get involved in others' work paths. 10. Everything is meaningless. Nothing matters. You don't matter. No one matters. Not me, not you, nobody. Even though social media might say otherwise, no matter how much you try to convince otherwise, nothing matters. When no one and nothing matters, that should not be the point of suffering. It should be liberating if you truly realize it. I know in the popular culture, what has been going around is, you matter. Saying it in a cliche way is a way to heal somebody. But actually the opposite, which is the truth, is also very liberating. It can heal people. 11. You are probably expecting too much, and you know that desire is the cause of suffering. Remind yourself that you have an intent, not desire. Or if it had turned to a desire, ensure it is intent again. So it cannot influence how you feel, because that is the difference between intent and desire. We've already talked about this. Desire controls you, but intent gives you power. Remember that intent is process aligned, not result oriented. 12. Have patience and faith in the self. 13. Time is uncontrollable. So patience again. Yes, we are trapped in time. You desire the ultimate wisdom, ultimate health, and ultimate freedom to do what you love and serve mastery to humanity. But it takes time. One step at a time. Because that is the Maya we live in, right? That is the world we live in, right? It has a dimension called time. 14. All questions will be answered, but just not right now. The universe knows when you are ready to realize a particular bite of truth. 15. When you see yourself complaining about life being unfair, ask yourself this. Is life being unfair to you in providing you with a fulfilled life? Or is it just that you want some increment in merely a metric system? Usually it is the second one. We just want an increment in a merely metric system. We are going after what truly does not matter. That is when we go into this trap of feeling not so good. Because the fulfilled life is within your reach. You already have access to fulfilled life. You are sad about something else. 16. Whenever things do not happen your way, you need to practice wisdom. You must take pleasantness from that process of just observing from a point. 17. If you can be honest, you have everything. Acknowledge that abundance. Do not be bothered if someone else also has everything. So be it. You enjoy your gifts. That's all. 18. You may be suffering an upgrade. Through this episode, I know I've barely tried to furnish the surface. If you would like to share your situation and reflect on it together, please feel free to reach out to me using the contact page on sanatkumarnebi.com. I hope you received excellent value in today's episode. To know more, head over to sanatkumarnebi.com, and if you haven't already, check out my book, The Flower of Fulfillment. Thank you for listening, and I wish you have a great day.